In this video, we are going to study about the find command. The find command in Linux is used to search for files and directories within a specified directory. So it allows you to search based on various criteria such as name, size, modification time, permissions, etc. So you can also combine different criteria and use actions to perform operations, on the found items such as printing them to the screen, deleting them, or executing commands on them. So the basic syntax of the find command is find path option and search term. So the path can be slash, that is forward slash, it mean entire file system. It is the topmost directory it represents. So entire file system to the home directory and current directory. Example, size. So it is used to specify the size of the file that you want to find. Then there is another example like let's say name. So if you want to search the file or directory by the name, so you can use this option hyphen name, and like so there are many other options which we will study in upcoming part of the video. Example, suppose you want to search a file called Apache. So for that, search term will be Apache. Another example will be like, suppose you are searching a file of of 1 GB size, 1 GB. So here this 1 GB is the search term. Now we are going to study the first option called name. So name option is used to find the files and directories that matches a given pattern. And in this you can use asterisk star as a wildcard to match parts of file names or search files through their extension. And the most important thing about this, it is case sensitive. So example will be like, suppose I want to find all files with extension .txt in the current directory and its subdirectories. So for that, how can I find this? Example, find current directory option name, and we are going to use the expression this one star.txt. So this command will find the all the .txt file which in the current directory and subdirectories. Another example will be find in current directory hyphen name all the files which ends with .txt extension hyphen exec rm curly braces forward slash and then semicolon. Now you will think, what is this exec hyphen exec? So this option tells find to execute a command on the file that has found. The command you want to execute comes after this hyphen exec. So we want to remove, so this will come after exec. So here it will remove. So what is these curly braces? So these curly braces called placeholder that represent each file found by the find command. Suppose find command, this find command found a file called file1 .txt. So when find locates a file, this file1.txt, so this curly braces get replaced with the actual file name. So it will be like rm file1 .txt. So it will remove this file. And this one, forward slash semicolon. This, this is the end of the -exec command. So, the semicolon tells find that the command to be executed is complete. And this backslash, it is used to escape the semicolon so that it is passed to find and not interpreted by the shell. There is another way, to read all the files which ends with .txt. So it is find in the current directory all the file names that end with .txt hyphen delete. So this expression will delete all the files which ends with .txt in the current directory. Now suppose I want to find a file which contains the string password. So how can I? Example, find all the txt files in the current directory which contain string called password. So we can do this using this given expression. Find in the current directory have a name .txt, all the txt files, minus exec grep password. Now we will study about iname hyphen iname. This iname, it is like the regular name option but case insensitive. That means no matter if the file name has uppercase or lowercase letters, this iname will find it. It is perfect when you are not 100% sure about the exact capitalization of the file you are looking for. For example, let's say you want to find something with the word Apache in it, but you are not sure if it is this if it is Apache where A is in caps, other are small, or whole in lowercase, whole Apache in lowercase, or whole Apache in uppercase Apache. So find in entire file system hyphen iname, and what we want to find? Apache. So this expression will search your entire file system to find any file or directory that contains Apache, no matter how it is capitalized. So this hyphen iname option is perfect when you don't quite remember the exact case of a file name or folder. Now we will study about the type option. Type. The type option is the find command. It is used to specify the type of file or directory you want to search for. When you use type, you are telling find to look only for a specific type of files instead of finding everything. So first we will study about regular file types. A regular file types. Example, find in the current directory, type F. This command will search all the regular files starting from the current directory. And in case if I want to find a file called manish.java, if I want to find this file, so I can use the following expression. Find, let's say home Manish, let's say is Apache XX web apps, let's say 2FA, And in this directory I want to find this particular file manish.java. So I will write type f for regular files, iname I will use here, iname manish.java, manish.java. Now we will see how to find directories. B directory. So to search for all the directories in the current directories and the subdirectories, we will use the find in current directory. Type I want to find all the directories, so I will use D here to find directory only. And in case I want to search a backup directory in the current directories and subdirectories, for that expression will be like find in the current directory. Type what type of data I want to search, directory, iname, which directory I want to search, backup. Now symbolic link. So first, what is symbolic links? Symbolic links are special files that point to another file or directory. So they are just often used to create shortcuts or references to other files in different locations. So to find symbolic links, just type find in the current directory. What type of data I want to find? Symbolic link. So type L. So this will search for symbolic links within the current directories and see its subdirectories. Now character devices. So first, what is character device? First, let's see the example of these character devices. Example: keyboard, mouse, sound device, or serial port. These all are character devices. A character device is the hardware or virtual device that is represented as a file, device file. So it allows program to interact with the device by sending one small piece of data at a time. Basically, data flows in a stream, like typing on your keyboard or sending data over a serial port. Example: when you press a key, the data, suppose you typed A, so it is sent to dev input event 0. It is a character device file. So your program reads from this file only, this file, which acts as an interface to get the individual key presses from the hardware. I think most of you have used the terminal, right? So when you are using a terminal or console, it is actually interacting with a special file called dev tty. This one is a this one is a special character device file that represents your terminal device, the place where you type command and see output. It acts like an interface between you and the computer's hardware for handling input and output, like what you type and what your computer sends back. Yeah, in Linux you usually find character devices in the /dev directory, /dev. In this directory you will find these character devices. Now to find character devices, simply type find in the current directory hyphen type C. C for character devices. So this will find all character devices files, starting from the current directory. Now we will study about block devices. E block devices. Okay, first let's see the example of block devices. Example: hard drive, SSD, USB, or CD, or DVD drives. These are examples of block devices. So now, what is block device? So, block devices are type of devices that handle data in large chunks or blocks, unlike character devices that handle one data at a time, one piece at a time, like a keyboard or mouse. Block devices read and write data in blocks, typically in 4 KB or more than that. And here in Linux, block devices are also represented as special files in the /dev directory and named like /dev SDA. This is your suppose main hard drive, dev SDA1, dev, I'm just giving example, SDA2. So what is this SDA1 and SDA2? SDA2, these are the partition of this hard drive. Or dev SDB. What is this? This can be a secondary hard drive or USB drive. Or dev CD-ROM. It can be CD. To find block devices in your file system, you can type find in the entire file system. What do you want to find? Block devices. So type B. Now we will study about named pipes. Named pipes. Named pipes, also called FIFO, that is first in first out, and it allows different processes to communicate with each other by writing data to the pipe and reading from it. So unlike regular files, named pipes don't store any data permanently. Only they allow data to flow from one process to another in real time. So first, how to create a named pipe? So for that, you can type mk FIFO temp and the name of that name pipe that you want to create. Let's say 123. So this will create a name pipe called 123 in the temp directory, that is this one /temp. So you can then write to it and read from it like a regular file, but it will function as a communication channel between processes. It will not store any data. So this will create create name pipe. So how to write data in this? Let's say we can write data like suppose I want to write the output of df-h in this, like df-h temp tmp 123. Here we are writing data to pipe, writing data to pipe. So now how to read data from this pipe? For that, simply cat, this redirection operator, temp 123. Data from pipe and output will be displayed on this terminal, whatever will be the output of this df-h output on terminal. So we can find name pipe using this following command. You need to type find in the current directory -type p. So this will list all name pipes in the current and its subdirectories. Also, to prevent from various attacks, ensure that the name pipe is readable and writable only by the trusted users or process. So for this, use chmod to restrict the access. Example, chmod 600 tmp 123. So this name pipe has the permission read and write only for the owner of this name pipe, that is 123. Other people can't read and write in this. So this will prevent that man in middle attack. Also, if a name pipe is continuously written to without being read by any process, so it can cause a blockage or deadlock. So this could lead to a DOS attack. That DOS situation where process that rely on the name pipe become unresponsive or stuck waiting for the data. Like a process writing a large amount of data to a name file without being consumed by the reader process. It could overload the system or block further communication. So we so there should be some proper flow control or timeout mechanism to prevent deadlock or excessive data accumulation to prevent this denial of service attacks. Proper flow control. Proper flow control or timeout mechanism to prevent deadlocks or DOS attacks. Now we will study about sockets. So what is socket? Socket are used for communication between processes, either locally or over a network. So there are two main types of socket, that is Unix domain socket. So those are used for communication between processes on the same machine, and other is network socket. So these are used for communication between processes on different machines over a network. So socket files are a special file that act as a communication endpoint for processes. So they are often used for local communication between client and server, where data is passed through the socket file instead of using network connections or regular files. Unlike regular text files, socket files cannot be opened or read like ordinary files because they are not meant to hold human readable data. So how can we find socket files in the current directory? For that example will be like find current directory, type what we need to find, sockets, and it will give output like this, like var run docker sock or temp mysql .sock. So this Docker socket, it allows communication between the Docker daemon, that is server, and Docker CLI, that is client. So it allows you to run commands like docker ps locally as it is communicated through the socket. And what about this MySQL socket? So MySQL uses this socket file for local communication between the MySQL server and the client when both are on the same machine. Now we will study about the third option, that is size. Third, size. Now suppose your system is is eating a lot of space and you don't know which file is eating your space. So in that case you can use this size option of find command. So this size can be specified in byte, kilobytes, that is small k, kilobytes, megabytes, or gigabytes, etc. Now suppose I want to find files larger than 100 MB. Files larger than 100 MB, or files smaller than files smaller than 1 GB, or files that are exactly of 500 KB. So how can I? Now to find files that those are larger than 100 MB, for that I will type find in the current directory or any other directory you can specify here, hyphen size. So I want to find larger than 100 MB, so I will write plus, that is for larger than 100 MB, 100 M. Now I want to find files which are smaller than 1 GB. So for that I will simply type find in the correct directory I only want to find, so dot size smaller than 1 GB. Now I want to find files that are exactly 500 KB. For that I will type find in the current directory only, size 500 KB. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this something extra, you can skip this part. So once you find a file that is taking a lot of space, and you might want to know like which process is currently using or writing to it. So for that you can use the command ls pipe grep file name which we found using this, and then you can use ps or top to gather more information about these processes. And if the process is associated with a network service, example web server, database, or might be SSH session, so you can use that netstat ss or lsof itself to find the network connection details of this process, like netstat grep process ID, which you found using this lsof, or we can use ssp grep process ID, or we can use lsof process ID. Now we will see how to search a file by modification time, access time, or that change time. Now suppose I want to find files which are modified in the last 7 days. For that I will use find current directory m time in last 7 days. So this will find all the files modified in the last 7 days. Output in last 7 days. Now find current directory m time plus 30. It will output files modified more than 30 days ago. Finding current directory m time 0. It will output files which modified today. And in the same way we can use this a time and the c time. Now we will study about another option called permission. Permission option, that is PERM. Suppose you don't want your files to be accessed by any third party or groups, but you don't know which files or directories have permission that allow other users or groups to access them. So in this case, these file permissions are essential as they allow you to control access. So you can use this find command with this -PERM option to search for files based on their permission. Now, if you want to find files or directories with exact permission, so for that you can use the command find in the current directory only -PERM 755, or find in current directory only PERM this 7 read write, and this one 5 this and in case if you want to find the at least matching permission, for that you can use this find in the current directory PERM slash this is read write execute for all. So this command will search for files and directory that have at least read write execute for all, that is owner, group and others. And now suppose I want to find only files which have specific or exactly the same permission. So for all that I can use this PERM with type. Example, find in current directory only types of file. I want regular files only, so for that I will type F and this PERM. Which type of permissions I'm searching? This one 644, that is read write for owner. For other people, that is for group and others, only read permission. And in case if I want to find directories with at least 755, this permission read write and execute, this one exit this one, let's see x read write execute, this is 755. So for that I will use this command find in the current directory type directory only I want, so default at PERM 755. So this will search for directories that have at least read write execute for owner and write and execute for others and groups permissions, and it will also include directories with additional permissions like these 777 or 775 etc. 777 or this plan is not working, etc. Now suppose I want to find all the files that were modified in the last 7 days and exactly have this 755 permission. So for that I will type find regular file only I want BERM 755 permission and modified in the last 7 days. And in case if I want to find all files with exactly 644 permission and directories with at least 755 permission, so for that I will type find this O operator. It is used to combine the two conditions. Now we will study about the user option. User option. Suppose you want to find files owned by a specific user, so for that you can use this find in current directory only user option, and which user, let's say Manish. So this will find all the files owned by the user Manish. And in case if you want to find the files owned by a specific group, so for that you can type find current directory group, let's say 2FA. So it will find all the files owned by a group called 2FA. You can also find the files based on user ID and group ID. Example, now we will see empty option. 7 empty. So this option, it is used to find files or directories that are empty, that contain no data or no files inside. So how to find? Simply type find current directory or any path whichever you want to take -empty. So this will list all the empty files or directories. Now we will study about another option called newer. Okay. Suppose we want to find files that were modified more recently than the reference file. So for that we can type find current directory newer option reference.txt. So this will find files that modified more recently than this reference.txt file. Reference.txt. And last we will study about the negate condition. Negate conditions, that is not. Suppose we want to find files except those with .log extension. So for that how can we find? Example, find current directory not iname ends with .log. So this will find all files except those with .log extension. And we can write the same this statement like or same command like find not name, let's see this time star.sql. So this will find all files except those which ends with .sql extension. So this is all about find command. Thank you.